We are here with Coach Hutchison, head field hockey coach, to talk about the recently completed season. What were the positives and negatives of having such a small roster for the 2017 season?
Having a small roster was nice maintenance-wise. All the girls got along really well. There was a big family. I had lots of time to see everyone on and off the field, especially like office visits that went really well. Negatives were we didn't have a lot of subs. You know, when we got tired of the temperatures were really hot, they had to stay in. There wasn't a lot of options.
Alex Calgren set program records for goals and points and was the only LEC field hockey player to be picked to play in the D3 Senior All-Star Game. At what point in her career did you think that she was capable of these kind of achievements?
I think when she came in, she was raw, but she was also very aggressive and fast and talented and worked really hard. I'm not sure if there was a point when I was like, oh, she's really good, because she progressed and got better every year, which is what we're looking for in every game. So it kind of was a given that she was going to be that good. I mean, we never took her off the field. That's going to improve every time. And I think that if I had to put a moment, it was probably maybe after her freshman year when I was like, okay, this kid's going to be good, you know? So, which was kind of nice. She was able to stay with us for 4 years. She didn't get injured. That happens a lot. So she worked through a lot of stuff and played really hard.
What is one of the most memorable moments from the 2017 season?
I think the girls would say, I found it pretty exciting also, but the girls would say probably beating Keene State away on their turf field in a pretty high scoring game for us and for them. So that was a big deal. We celebrated like it was the conference tournament. And I think that was just a pat on the back to how good Keene is, for us to beat them the first time ever, or in a while, 15 years, was we were really excited about that. And we played well, and they came back and fought for it the second half, and we held them off. So I think that was a pretty exciting moment for our program and for the team this year.
The Keene win was the team's 4th straight, and you seemed like you were hitting your stride heading into the final week of the season. Did the career-ending injury to goalie Maddie LaRusso affect the team as much mentally and emotionally as physically?
Looking back, I would say probably yes, but being in the moment, I didn't think so. The girls played hard. I think just not having a goalie that you're used to playing with mentally is going to affect you, but physically, the ball went in more often than it would have had we had Maddie in the cage. And I think we still played really hard. The ball, we didn't let a ton of shots go on cage, but because we didn't have a goalie that had practiced all season in there, and granted, we did throw a freshman attacker in there, and then we stole an athlete from the women's lacrosse team who was good. She would have been great had she practiced more than 1 day before the first game and 4 days before the second game. So I think that was kind of a really tough ending to our season. We really appreciated those goalies stepping in at all, because otherwise we wouldn't have had even a slight chance. And the team, they worked hard, but there's not a lot you can do to substitute a goalie that was playing really well all season.
Was it disappointing that players like Kiera Valentine, Tia LaFrance-Boyce, and Katie Jankura, who appeared to enjoy outstanding seasons, did not receive any mention on the All-LEC team?
It's always a little disappointing, but it's pretty normal because there are 12 teams in our conference, and there's only 3 teams that are going to get, 3 teams, first team, second team, and honorable mention, that are going to get even honored. So it's a very small group of athletes that are going to, be up there, and a lot of times they do pick from the first 4 teams. Now, granted, we were 5th in our conference, which was awesome, but they still do pick from those top 4 teams for a lot of the spaces. So I wouldn't say I was surprised. I'm always a little disappointed, but it kind of is what it is. So they had great seasons, but you can't get everyone out on that squad either.
Would you consider your season to be successful this year? Why or why not?
Definitely. I was maybe even a little bit surprised by it. Coming in with such a small squad, we talked about accountability and everyone having to work their hardest to make sure they were ready to be on that field. And they did. They came back in great shape. We were ready to go. Great senior leadership class, and all the classes underneath really kind of pushed the best they possibly could to be the best they could on that field. So successful, yes, definitely. We won games that we didn't win last year. We were 5th in our conference. We played, some nationally ranked teams really very competitively. And I think the girls just enjoyed the season. It was fun. They had a good time out there, and they worked really hard to make it happen.
What were some of the goals that the team hoped to reach this year, and were they reached?
I think our normal goals are always to make conference tournament. We haven't done that, years back. That was always like a big one we didn't reach, and in the recent years we've been doing that pretty consistently. But that's always a goal. It's never a given. So that was a goal. We reached that. One of their goals was to beat Keene, and they did that. Another goal is to try to go as far as we can in tournament. And I think without a goalie, well, not without a goalie, but without our starting goalie, that was more difficult than it maybe could have been. And it was just a rough season for that ending part, but I think that they reached a whole bunch of their goals. And other goals is to stay close as a team, which they also accomplished too.
Talk about your senior class.
My senior class was an awesome senior class. They really strove to make our program better. We had a different dynamic for our senior class. We had 3 4-year athletes. So we had Maddie and Katie and Snook, who really pushed the program to the next level. They've been here. They were around when the program was just still kind of building its way up there. So they got to experience the end of that, where they've been to tournament every year, and they've really kind of pushed the program to the next level. And then we have Tio, who's with us for 3 years. She's just a great athlete. She's worked really, really hard to get where she is today. She does have another year of eligibility left, and I would love to have her come back, but that so far is not happening. And then we have 2 seniors that joined us this year. So we have Katie and we have Ashley, and they were both really great additions to our team. They really played as if they'd been here for 4 years, and they really added a lot to our program.
All right, last question. What are some things that you are looking forward to next season?
Well, I'm looking forward to a pretty new roster next season. We're returning 10 field athletes. We have no goalie returning, so we will be trying to fill those spaces with the recruits coming in, and we have a few of those spaces filled already with athletes that have already committed to come to Eastern, which is exciting. So I'm looking forward to kind of a new group and new dynamics out there, teaching maybe from the basics back up again. I was lucky this year we had a lot of returners, so we didn't have to kind of go to the nitty-gritty and work our way up. But next year we will be doing that. But we also have the ability to try new things, because we won't have an entire squad that's used to one thing. So I'm looking forward to new challenges and just kind of new stuff going on next year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.